When you're growing up in New Jersey, was your dream always to be a stand-up comedian?
No, that was like my worst nightmare.
What did you want to be?
I think I just wanted like people to hear what I had to say. Like I thought my opinion was very valuable at a very young age. And because I'm the youngest of 6, you just have to scream and yell to get heard. So that was definitely, a part of the...
Were you a loudmouth?
Yeah, I mean...
And you would mouth off about everything. Did you ever go up on a stage and do stand-up for a career?
Yeah.
Was that your start?
Yeah, that's how I started, yeah.
And you'd go up and you'd do your thing and you'd talk. Were you good at it?
I got good at it. I
Right.
mean, yeah, in the beginning I had an easier time. I think if it had been more difficult in the beginning, I would have probably given up more easily. But I had an easy time, and then I went through the rough patch, like, a year into it, where I would bomb all the time.
You mean the first time you got up, you were good at it?
Well, I mean, I had like 15 friends in the audience too, so.
But where did you do that? Where did you go the first time?
The Improv on Melrose, and then the Laugh Factory.
Was it like, oh my God, I got to go do this. I better go take 50 drinks and get up on that stage?
Yeah,
How old were you?
I had to have like 8 margaritas, 20.
You were 20 years old, and you walked up on a stage for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have stuff written down that you were going to talk about?
Yeah.
And you were really well thought out about this. And who inspired all of this in you? Was there some person or some comedian that you looked up to?
No, I didn't want to do stand-up. It was just kind of like
What else to do?
I was auditioning and I was reading these people's lines. You go into auditions and everyone's skinnier and prettier, and I'm like, I'm Jewish, and I'm never gonna be like a supermodel type girl, and I just didn't even have any interest in that. I just thought I wanted something where I could express my opinions and my point of view without anyone kind of editing me.
And what do you mean you were auditioning? You were going out and trying to get on TV
act?
shows?
Yeah, to be an actress. Yeah, to go. And I was a terrible auditioner. I mean, I couldn't even. I mean, that situation was way more uncomfortable than going on stage, where you could just do what you wanted, and then if you don't get laughs, you act like that was on purpose.
Did you begin to lose faith in yourself because you'd go out and audition for TV shows or commercials or whatever the hell? And did you begin to say, maybe I'm not a performer?
Yeah, all the time. I was like, oh my God, what if because I was waiting tables for 6 or 7 years. And
where?
Oh my God, everywhere. A place called Roasty, Shy of Venice, everywhere in LA. And I got fired from every job I ever had.
Why? Because you didn't listen to authority?
Because I would go off on people. Like if I didn't like if someone.
The customers?
The customers and my managers.
Right.
Like my manager was this cokehead, and he would just run it. And it was like this luncheon place. It wasn't even appropriate to be doing cocaine at that time of day. And he was just.
in front of the help.
Yeah. And he'd be running around, he was like this Italian guy. He was like, he was clearly jacked.
So tweaked.
Yeah, and I just went off on him. I was like, can you just wait and do coke till when it gets dark out?
You can't tell your boss when to do coke.
A regular person.
Right.
Or I would go off on people if they left me crappy tips. I'd be like, you're an asshole. And, because, you'd have big parties, and people don't understand this in anywhere in tipping. And this is why I'm very sensitive to it, because I tip like 500% when I go out, because I know what it's like.
Right.
And you'd go, I had a table of these guys, and you always know it's bad when they start out like, we're going to take care of you. We got you tonight. Don't worry about us. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Means you're getting maybe 20% if you're lucky. There's not going to be anything over. Right.
And so we had these guys, and I was at this restaurant, Shy of Venice, in Venice, California, and he said, and this guy said that, and it was like an $800 bill. It ended up being like a bar tab. I worked in the bar, and it was a bar. It was a really nice restaurant bar. And so you have to pay taxes on that, especially when they pay with a credit card. You have to pay. People don't know that the waitress has to pay like 8% of that. So if you're not even tipping me 8%, I'm basically paying for you to go out to dinner.
Wow. And so I didn't know that.
Yes. So you have to pay a portion of your sales that are not in cash.
Right.
So the guys, he got money. I saw him collecting money from his whole group. And then, on $800, he tipped me like $10.
Wow.
And I went right up to him in front of everyone. And I was like, and his last name was some Jewish thing. And I was like, listen, it's Jews like you that give Jews like me a bad name.
Right.
And I said, just so you all know, he tipped me $10, took your money, tipped me $10 on $800, and probably pocketed the rest. So have a great night, and congratulations on your friend.
And you got fired for that. Well, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, you have a good point. In fact, I've gone to dinner with friends who I look over and I see what they're tipping, and I go, I would rather just pay the bill so I can give the waiter a decent tip.
Absolutely. I don't trust some of the people that I dine with to do the right thing by tipping. So people are always like, Chelsea, you have to stop paying. And I'm like, I'd rather settle this. And I don't like people talking about spending money, like paying, like, I'll get this, you get that. It's like, just someone pay.
Just somebody pay.
I'm not splitting it. I'm not 8, okay? We don't need to split this.